So,
So, what is the results of all of this work? What have you done?
well, peace of mind in decision making, I would say, is the first one we've noticed. We've already been able to answer some questions, like I keep using the hay example because that's a real decision we just had. Is you know is it worth it to drive farther for cheaper hay? Well, no, it really isn't when you consider time and wear and tear on the vehicles and hours and the price of fuel. And so, yeah, we were able to do that using like the Excel spreadsheets and create just some formulas that as the price of gas changes, we can plug that new dollar per gallon number in and see what it is next year. So these are things that we'll be able to use year after year.
Great.
Yeah.
And so you actually have some plans. What are you going to do next besides move?
Yeah, well, there's that, and then what's next? Yeah, well, so we focused really on the hay and the cow side, and then what's next is I was actually working on the poultry enterprise today, and that is really a function of I mean I'm already discovering from just looking at the numbers how important the scale, I guess, is the scale of operation.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely doesn't make sense to do 100 birds. It makes a lot more sense to do 500 birds, broilers, for example, that kind of thing. And so really seeing on paper, okay, where those levels are, and then determining, okay, do we want to go that big? Can our land support it? And like that. And so an inventory of our land actually was another part of this process. So we can reference on paper, hey, we're not using this pasture. We're using we've got a corner of 5 acres here, or even just 1 acre here that we could definitely spread into if we need room for more livestock or like that. So
Great. And so what were your long-term plans?
is definitely to keep to hold on to these pages and just keep reviewing them as we go through the season, because as I see it, having these budgets, some of it inevitably are numbers that we don't know, that we're sort of projecting. We don't, especially when you're dealing with a new to you animal or a new to you crop where you don't know exactly how long it's going to take to feed, for example. We'll keep these numbers with us and go, okay, is that accurate? Is the number that we used accurate? And then how do we need to change it? And are we on track with the profits that we think we're going to be gleaning from this enterprise? And look at every enterprise separately and see, are they making, are they feeding themselves, or how much are they contributing?
Yeah, and I wanted to bring up, you mentioned your visit to Small Business Development Center, that
Yes.
was very valuable. You might just say a couple words on that.
Absolutely, especially for people who are starting to use QuickBooks or are new to QuickBooks or whatnot. I've used QuickBooks in a different industry, in construction, so I'm somewhat familiar with it, but I still had questions about how do I apply it to farming, because there is one tool within QuickBooks that makes it really useful to separate each of your enterprises, and it's called classes. You basically call everything a different class, so you can say, oh, I bought so much feed, but the poultry used 20 pounds of it, the pigs used 40 pounds of it, like that. And so you can really break things down and see how much money you're making or losing per enterprise. And so I had some of those questions, and I went into the Lewiston Small Business Development Center and sat down and just had a one-on-one chat with the lady there, and it was so helpful. And I know they teach general classes, but I always tend to have more questions, and they're really open to having you just come in free of charge, whatever questions you have, bring them. And she was really thorough, and she couldn't answer some of the questions there in our interview, but she got right back to me with answers that she had researched after the fact. So
that is a
well
good
worth
tip.
it.
Yeah, that's a good tip to pass on to people, because I've found them to be very useful, and they've worked with us in some of our classes that we've done. So, Okay, well, I wish I could talk to you a lot longer too. It sounds like you've gotten a lot done in the last 9 weeks, so good for you. And
Yeah,
good luck on your new adventures. And
yeah, thank you.
we look forward to seeing what you do.
Yeah, great.
So I'll have to say goodbye to you tonight, and we'll move on. But take care, Eileen.
Okay, thanks, Linda.
Mm-hmm. Uh, Now we're way behind, folks, but hang with us. We've got another student, another participant of our class that's going to come on now. Donna Mills, are you there, Donna?
I'm here.
Hi, Donna. Donna is representing the University of Idaho Soil Stewards tonight, and she's going to tell you about their greenhouse herb project. And we didn't touch on just one particular aspect of the class. We kind of lumped them all together, so we'll just go through this. And Donna, could you just tell us a little background on Soil Stewards and your project?
Yeah, okay, so the Soil Stewards is an ASUI recognized student group at the University of Idaho, and so the farm has been in existence since 2003. It has been solely run by students and the faculty advisor, Dr. Jody Johnson-Maynard. For all of this time, we're going into our ninth season here, and there's been a lot of really passionate and excited students over these last 9 years. But the university has been hesitant to make it more than just a student group because it's really a traditional ag land grant school. And so this year, over the last couple of years, we've been making a push for some support in the small farms area of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, and we are getting a lot of yeses when previously there were a bunch of no's. And so we're starting to grow the Soil Stewards Farm into something that will include an academic program, and hopefully we can find funding for a full-time farm manager that will add consistency to the farm, because historically we have had students that have been farm managers, and so we lose our consistency every time a student graduates and goes away or decides that they don't want to manage again. So that's kind of the background. And last year we sold a lot of food to Sodexo, to campus signing, in the guise of a farm fresh food grown by students for students. That was our little catchphrase, and Sodexo was really excited about buying food from us. They have a 12% local initiative that they have to meet. I could be wrong on the 12%, but they've got a local initiative that they have to meet to buy local foods for Sodexo. And so they're super excited to buy as much food, and they asked us last year, would we consider growing herbs for them in the greenhouse year-round? And so that was the impetus for this project.
Okay, and in this nice picture of all you smiling people looking at us now, could you tell us who this is?
I can. Okay, so left to right, that's Carson Alberg, and he is a student here in the horticulture department. His parents actually own Oxbow Farms in Seattle, which is an organic farm over there, as well as a vineyard and a winery. And this is Tony Evie. He's also a student that I'm working with, and he is from Seattle as well. And the next man over holding the bags that you can see a little bit, those are bags of cilantro and basil that we sold to Kristen Rauch is the chef at Sodexo, and that's myself. So that was our first delivery